Welcome back. I hope you are feeling awesome. As a part of this video, we'll understand subqueries in SQL. Any idea what is the subquery? Subquery is a query within query. We have already seen SQL queries. So if you have a query within a query, then that is called as a subquery. Usually when you are writing a SQL queries, there are some situations where only writing a straightforward query wouldn't help. That is where subqueries will come into picture. In subquery, we have a main query, which is also called as a parent query, and we have a subquery. We also call it as a nested or inner query. Since it is a query within a query, we are calling it as a subquery. Query within another query, that is subquery. We can use the subqueries along with the DML or DQL statements. We can use the subquery with the operators. We can use the subquery with the clauses. In case of DML and DQL statements, we can use the subquery with the select statement. We can use the subquery with the insert, update, and also delete. In case of operators, we can use the subquery with the comparison operator. We can use the subquery with the logical operators. We can also use the subquery with the clauses like where class, from class, and also having class. We can use the subquery with other classes also, but we are restricting ourselves to these three classes in this video. It is time to look at how the subquery looks like. Look at this query. We have a query. This is a main query, and this guy is a subquery. You can see which is an inner query, which is within the main query. So that is how the subquery looks like. Now that we understood how the subquery looks like, let us understand some of the rules before we start taking an example of subquery. Subqueries must be enclosed in parentheses. If you observed in the previous slide, we have enclosed the subqueries in the parentheses. Subqueries are always on the right side of the comparison operators. That also you observed. For example, select was this one, and also we had in, and subquery was on the right side of the comparison operator. Sorry, subquery executes before the main query because the results of the subquery will be funneled into the main query. So outer query's result, that is a main query's result, is dependent on the result set of the subquery. So you run a subquery, and out of the subquery there will be results. Then those results will be funneled to the main query. So obviously output of the main query depends on the results of the subquery. Let us look at some more rules. We can use the group by class in subquery. We already mentioned that. And very important point, we cannot use the order by class in the subquery. Why is that? Can you think logically? What does order by do? Order by do sorting of the values. If we sort the values and funnel that results to the main query, will the sorting remain same of the main query is executed? No, it doesn't. So in that case, why do we need to sort? That is the reason order by class cannot be used in the subquery. But order by class definitely can be used in the main query. Some more important subquery rules. Whenever subqueries return more than one row. See, subqueries may return one row or more than one row, right? In that case, we have to use the multiple value operators like in, any, all. Other operators wouldn't work. You can select only one column as a part of the subquery. You can select more columns in a subquery provided multiple columns are there in the main query. Whenever subquery returns a null, means there are no values, obviously outer query, main query will not return any rows. Awesome. We understood some of the important subquery rules. Let us understand the subqueries along with the DML, DQL, along with the arithmetic operators, along with the clauses. The example, the data what we are going to use to understand the subqueries is EMP table and department table. You can see EMP table has some 4 columns and it is 6 records. In department, we have some 4 records and 3 columns. Let us say, how do we use use the subqueries as a part of the select statement? Very, very simple. Let us say as a part of this particular table, you want to display the employee name with the minimum salary. If you were to display only the minimum salary, there is no requirement of the subquery. But here the requirement is along with the minimum salary of this particular table, you got to display the employee name as well. And that is when we have to use a subquery. And the way we are using the subquery is first we'll select the minimum salary as a part of the subquery and funnel that to the main query. In the main query, I will select the employee name and salary of only those records funneled by a subquery. They are going to be Raju and Pragati. So if you look at the table, 2000 is the minimal salary. How do we use the subqueries in insert statement? Let us say we have two tables, EMP and department. We are creating a one more table for selecting those records from a department where the salary is greater than 5,000. Do you have a salary column in the department? No. So we got to use the employee table where salary column is there. The way we are constructing the main query and subquery is first we'll select the department number from employee table where we are saying salary is greater than 5,000. So it will give the result as 40 and 30. And for these two department numbers, we'll select all the records from the department table. That will give a result of these two records where department number is 30 and 40. So those records are taken from department and they'll be inserted into the new table. See, the way insert works, the way subquery works is same. You have already understood how the insert works. Now we are combining the subquery with the insert. So the combination of a subquery and main query will give set of records. Those will be taken and inserted into the new table. How does the update statement work? Similar to insert statement. Instead of inserting, we are updating here. Let us say the requirement here is I want to update name of an employee who hails from Bangalore. Do we have a location in the EMP table? We don't. So that is why we have to take a help of department table. So first select the department number where the location is Bangalore. That department happens to be 40. Then take that, in that update the employee name as a king. So after running the query, we'll get this result. So how does the delete statement work? We have department and EMP table. You want to delete the record in a EMP table where department name is null. But do you have a department name as a part of the EMP table? No. Again, we have to take a help of department table here. First, we'll select the department number where department name is null. That will be funneled to the main query. With that, we'll delete the record in the main table, that is EMP, which is having a null value in the department name. How does the subquery work in the group by? Very simple. We have already understood how the group by works. So what we want to do is in the EMP table, we want to select the maximum salary from each department. So what we will do is we'll select the maximum salary by grouping on a department number in a subquery, and then we'll choose the employee name and salary in the main query. So that will give a result of Raju 2000, Harry 5000, Jones 12,000, Pragati 2000. Why do we have two records here? Because in the department number 10 we have only 2000 and 2000. They are same records, right? That is the reason we are having these two values, because the names are different. If you would have not chosen the name, then only three records should be there. The way group by works here is it will take the inputs on department number. Let us say 1010, that will be put into group 1. 2020, that will be put into second group. 30 will be put into third group. And within this, we are trying to get a maximum salary. So since it is 2000, it will choose both the values. And within 20, the 5000 is more. That will be chosen. And 30, we have only one record where the salary is 12,000. So those records are chosen with group by. And for those records, we'll get an employee name and salary from the main query. So how does the having clause work? We understood having clause can be used wherever we want to filter the groups itself. In this case, what we want to do is we want to select those departments having a count equal to 2. So having is a condition within the group by. The way it works is first the group by will happen, the department number, and the department number, if you say 1010, the count is 2, 2020, the count is 2, the count is 1. But what we want the groups which are having a count equal to 2, and those records will be funneled to the main query and we'll get these results. So after the group by, department number 2 has count equal to 2. 20 also has count equal to 2. That is the reason only the records with the department number 10 and 20 are there as a part of the result. Since we are choosing the employee name, that is also there as a part of this particular result. The last thing is what happens if subquery results in a null. Very, very simple. In this case, if you see what we are trying to do here is we are extending the previous example and we are trying to get where the count is equal to 3. Means the group should be having a count. The group is we are grouping by a department number. So here we have 10, 10. It is there are 2. If you go with the aggregation, the count is 2 here, and 20, 20, the count is 2, 30, count is 1. None of them are equal to 3. When subquery results in a null, even the main query results in a null in this case. Awesome. We understood how the subquery works by taking various examples. Let us understand this more with hands-on examples in the next video. Thank you.